Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode here on G4G, Games for Gamers. I'm your host, Napalm Dawn, and tonight we are here in the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance. It is the middle of March. Tomorrow is going to be Pi Day, and today is Friday the 13th. So today's background music is brought to you by Lon JP, a fantastic acoustic guitarist who does a lot of covers of gaming music, a lot of Final Fantasy, Square, Enix projects. And I've gone ahead and picked him and started off with some Final Fantasy VII music, because there was a time period in which the producer of Marvel Avengers Alliance, Justin Woods, was on a show called X-Play, which was on a gaming network that has now unfortunately been replaced with Esquire. This is actually how I got into Marvel Avengers Alliance, is I saw the episode of X-Play where he was on talking about it, and there was a code and a tie-in for a gadget way back then that unfortunately has never really appeared since, and I kind of hope they would bring it back in one of the roulettes, sort of the way they did with the Fantastic Fix and the Spider Sense Injector. See, there's the Spider Sense Injector. I actually got this recently, but the X-Ray Exploiter, it is a tech gadget, quick action. All enemies are blinded, and all enemies are staggered for 1 round on the blinded, 3 rounds on the staggered, and it's a 4-round cooldown. I think it should be a 3-round cooldown, but yeah, so this was the tie-in, and back then he said he wanted to make a mobile game as epic as Final Fantasy VII, and you could tell the influences he's received because they did Marvel Avengers Alliance Tactics, which is now dead, and there was also Final Fantasy Tactics, phenomenal game by the way. Except, you know, Marvel Avengers Alliance Tactics didn't really have a lot of the vertical nature that the FF Tactics do. So, this Friday, holy shit, like, tomorrow's Pi Day, right? Today is Pi Day in this game. There is so much cake and pie and goodness and wonderfulness in this game. This Friday, it is off the charts. First, we still have the PvP season going on. And, oh, wow, a lot of big losses there. That's surprising. Defense had been doing pretty well today. You can see, got some stuff. Oh, One-Winged Angel. All right, so we need to get into combat while we're doing Sephiroth's theme over here, One-Winged Angel. So I'll show you guys Molly's Fist in action. This great little combat music. So today think of what's going on today. We have PvP, we have dailies, we have spec ops, and what snuck in the middle of the day, we have chapter 8. So, ooh, I get to go first. That's big. It's big against a team like this to get them exhausted. And before the friggin' energy drain goes out. God damn you, Red Hulk. So first, Emerald Prism on Molly to get her stacks up. Then we exhaust the enemy team. There's no infiltrators, so there's not going to be any counters. And I'm not expecting a whole lot of buffs, so I'm going to Black as Void them now rather than later. So yeah, wow, the content today. Crazy amount of content. I mean, there's so much that... Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. There's so much that you can do today in this game. This game could literally take over your life for an entire day with the amount of content that's available. Alright, not exhausted, not exhausted, not exhausted. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give myself a heal. Unfortunately, I cannot protect against the debuffs, but it's going to be a heal and it's going to be rising up. So hopefully, we don't take it exhausted from what's in his hand. Oh, beautiful. It's the Neurotrope. That's perfectly fine. Beautiful, beautiful play. And I'll show you why it's beautiful. My agent is going to go ahead and suck up the counterattacks. But Iron Fist is going to jump in there, and he's going to block them. And I'm going to go before Red Hulk can get a bulwark going on. So this is beautiful turn order. And we'll get to see Molly bust some heads. Hopefully she's not going to have... Ooh, wow. Strong on the agent over there. Okay. Alright, he clobbered me over there. That's a little surprising for a generalist. Get a little bit of a heal going. We got tactical advantage. And I'm just going to go ahead and smack Beast once. Just so he's a little easier to kill. Alright, I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. No exhausted. No incapacitation. No bleeding. It's time to put these guys away. So first we're going to throw the van. So I'm thinking of calling this video the Week of Marvel Avengers Alliance, the date, and Mega Content Edition, but I also have a surprise for you guys what I might name it. And that'll be coming up after this battle. So he doesn't have the bulwark up. Fuck you, Red Hulk. General Ross and your blazing stretchy pecs. Boom. Dodge. Oh well. Dodging doesn't matter when I'm not getting drained or bleeding, because then my stacks just go up, and I do more damage. Ooh, but he might blow up. He might blow up. He might blow up. He's got to get killed on this one. Oh, he's gonna blow up. This could be painful. Sephiroth! Okay, good. So let's see what we punch out the agent with. We punch it out with almost 6,000. Look at that. Plus 2,800. Goodbye. Here's a little bug that I've noticed with Molly. If she hits with the drop kick, okay, so she applies the combo setup and everything, right? If you whiff on the wind-up punch, it consumes the combo set. Alright, look. Here's the bug in action. The combo setup is missing. Even though I missed, it still consumes the combo setup. I think that sucks. I think it should only be consumed if you actually hit. Okay, so, well, there was Team Molly Fist in action. So, what is the second name that I could potentially call this video today? I could potentially call it the Destroyer Edition. Bum, bum, bum. Here he is. Here's Modern Destroyer. I have him as level 2, so he has his Disintegration Beam, which honestly, I think it should have Melt Armor, but that's just me. And Crush, which causes Incapacitation and Shield Breaker. And his level 1 exploits it. Here's something that Playdom did that I think is a little smart on their point, but I actually consider it a nerf. His follow-up, if somebody is flanked, or he follows up, or he counters, or anything like that, it's his level 2, which is Crush. That means if somebody is flanked, you can't apply a Crush, and then have him exploit it. If you hit somebody with a Disintegration Beam, the follow-up is then the Crush. So I'll go ahead and show you him in action. I currently have him running with Miss Energy Vagina herself, Carolina Dean. And then we'll get into the rest of the content that we have today. Like I said, it's a tremendous amount of content. There she is, Miss Spider-Woman. I love this line, "Oh, Tony, you're the only tool I want to steer clear of." I'm so glad it replayed this, because I think that is the best line that this game has come up with, yet. Look at this heroic. This heroic scares the life out of me. Sin, Bastion, Red Skull, a Sentinel, and then Sin again with Bishop and Cable? Honestly, faithful viewers, I am shitting my pants looking at this heroic. Like, I am really scared of this heroic. I really don't want to do it. I really don't. A tactician to counter Cable. a blaster twice to counter Bishop? Ah! I am sphincter clenched. Totally sphincter clenched at that heroic. I really am. So let me get Thing out of there. I was just doing a who's-he what's-this, an incursion with Thing because Destroyer was training at the time. So, for my agent right now, I had the Emerald Prism, the Chitter Chatter Box, a weapon which was Mr. King's Celerity, the Mercurial, and the Weather Control. I'm going to switch out the Emerald Prism, and I'm going to go with the Neurotrope instead, so you guys can see a little bit of his counters and everything. So Destroyer, as we know, is a generalist, which means he can benefit from morale boost. But actually, you know what? I'm going to run Mark of the Brotherhood, just so I can accelerate Carolina Dean a little bit here. Casa del Sol? I think this is the beach town from Final Fantasy VII, if I remember correctly. Oh, Square, give us Final Fantasy VII HD Remake already. Stop teasing us. Okay, so I'm going to hit Mark of the Brotherhood, which is going to help Carolina Dean. I'm going to Chitter Chatterbox on the guy who's going to tank. Skibbity Bappity Squirrels. And you know what? Let's make them bleed. So now, watch what Destroyer's going to do. First of all, I'm a little disappointed in his sound effects. I'm very, very sad that they use just generic stuff, but here we go. I'm going to turn on the sound, and we can listen to him. The crush sound effect is okay, but his level 1, I am disappointed. Oh, she should count as a mutant. I guess she isn't a mutant. Oh well. She's not going to benefit from it. I thought she did. Because Molly does, but I guess she's technically not classified as a mutant because she's a Majestian. So, yeah. Disappointed in Destroyer's level 1. Think of what the Destroyer sounded like in the first Thor. That whoosh! That beam is disappointing to me. But hey, he's pretty damn good. Kind of the interesting thing about him following up with the level 2 is what's really cool is you can exploit the stun and then turn around and reapply it for the next round. So there's the exploitation of it. Carolina gains an energy stack. And now he just reapplies incapacitation. I think that part is, you know, pretty cool. Let's get her some crits. Vagina beam. Feel the wrath of my uterus. You know what? Let's just flash them to death. Lon JP is a fantastic guitarist. I love his work. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get this guy flanked. And we'll see if maybe Destroyer can double pummel him to death. So there's his level 6, which is a multifunction. We can take a look at that when it's over. And there's his level 9 obliteration wave. There's the melt armor there. That's probably going to be a big spell. Let's go ahead. See, double crush. So he's one of the few characters where the follow-up is not the level 1. There are some people whose follow-up is AoE, like Shitterstar. And there's the stun, so that's pretty cool. The incapacitation went off already. Let's go ahead and hit him with a big Mercurial. And we'll follow up with the Brawl. And it's over. Alright, so let's take a look at Destroyer's abilities here, and we'll discuss the chapter, and we will go ahead and take a look at Spider-Woman's worthy outfit. God, just... Oh, there's that language again. We saw Null say that. Spider-Woman didn't listen. That's a cool outfit. That's... You know what that looks like? I believe in one of the Ghost in the Shell episodes, the Major had a helmet that looked similar to that. I read, plus I paid attention in Heimdall. Yeah, speaking of Heimdall, a lot of people, you might be wondering, and I'll probably talk about this in a video specifically about that team. If you're running into a lot of Mollies and you want to know a counter to Molly, Heimdall. Here's why Heimdall is a beautiful counter to Molly. If he gives Molly the nope hand in the middle of her tantrum, that's it. Her tantrum is done. D-O-N-E, done. She doesn't continue to gain other attacks over there, like if a protector gains an extra turn or something. She is completely knocked out of the entire tantrum as if she ran out of stamina. So if you're having trouble with Molly, once Heimdall has his vigilance out, you're good to go. Plus, if you give him Rally, like through Miss Marvel, and you can one-round his buffs, you know, pretty much you're good to go to start just one-shotting people in the first round. So, alright, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the new things we've got today. Well, my Enchantress, as you saw there with the flight jet, she's level 9. So I'm going to be doing a video on her and some things that'll work with her. Thors, look at my Thors. My Thors is amazing. He's level 10. And my Blade is training because of my quest for him. Alright, so Destroyer, here he is. We've seen the Disintegration Beam. We've seen Crush. Fueling Essence, that is the level 6. It is the one where each one of these is a quick action. It consumes his destructive essences. So actually, what'll happen is one of these will consume all of them, and then these others will give him some stuff, but there'll be no more essences left to consume, so they'll be weak. So you'll be able to pick like one of these for a big hit, and then the other two are just going to be weak. And then Obliteration Wave is all enemies, ranged energy, fire, kadoom. There's the melt enemy and everybody's burning. Angela, I think Angela's going to be mine. PvP's looking good. So let's go over and look at Spider-Woman. There she is. So there's her normal outfit, and she's going to come in a bruiser and a scrapper form, if I remember correctly. If it... There we go. Okay. Kuurth, Breaker of Stone. Shockwave crashed. Yep. Okay, so Shockwave crashed. Just give me a quick little moment here and we'll be back. Okay, so we're back from the crash. Before we get into Spider-Woman's abilities, let's take a look at what's on sale. The Savage Spear for 75 gold. And the Integrated Intelligence set for 192. Okay, so if we look at gold prices, let's just get some real money, real world money worth. So you're saying the Savage Spear is about $20. And the Integrated Intelligence set is probably 40-ish, okay? Integrated Intelligence set, I really liked it when it came out, and I got it. However, I kind of thought it would be really good with Rocket Raccoon and Omega Sentinel, and it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to, because there's no clean in this set or anything like that, and I missed the clean. But the set is really good, and it's good because Calculated Response is a non-use item, and the proc will allow something like Union Jack and Rocket Raccoon to jump in, because it's considered a counter. Savage Sphere is a phenomenal weapon, especially if you want to work with poison or you want the buff that this gives you. You can stack this with the Savage Axe and Might from the Hunter set with Blade. So I would say this is worth a purchase, but I think it's about 11 gold overpriced. And the Integrated Intelligence set, I would say a pass for most people, especially with how expensive it is. I don't think that's a thrifty price for that set. However, if you look at my channel, I've done a video on that set before. It's just a while ago. Alright, so let's go over here and look at Spider-Woman. She should be around here somewhere. I know she needed to train. Where are you, Spidey Tits? Spider-Man. There, okay, there she is. Spider-Woman. Alright, Kuurth Breaker of Stone, Scrapper uniform, and the Bruiser uniform. I think this was the hammer that Thing had in the comics, if I remember correctly. So, here's the differences in her outfits. There she is, normal. And, yeah, that's a cool outfit. I really like this. Breaker of Stone, all single target attacks apply Shield Breaker. Immune to stun and immobilize, high chance to resist critical hits. So she's almost like an invisible Molly Woman counter. She flies. Serpent Spider Serum. She's immune to poison, radiation, and bioeffects, and psychic and delirium. That means she cannot be black as voided in terms of the disorient, but she can still have her buffs removed. She is worthy, which basically means she is Asgardian, and worthy vengeance. 50% chance to counter melee attacks with Stonebreaker. 50% chance to counter ranged attacks with Road to Ruin. Similar to her vengeance over here. So there's Spider Serum, poison, radiation, and bio. Poison, radiation, bio, and it adds the immune to psychic and delirium. Her icons do not change, but her names do. So Stonebreaker, deadly crits, runic release, deals extra damage against target affected by cursed runes. Causes the runes on the target to explode. Interesting. Road to Ruin, biofeedback. Rune of Ruin, attacks against this target are guaranteed to hit and crit, and this is unremovable. Notice the border around this. All attacks against this target ignore the defense stat. This character becomes disabled when the rune explodes, counts as a targeting effect. Wow, she's gonna make a reappearance in PvP. Calling it now. Fear Me, all enemies debuff, so you're not gonna be able to slot an ISO in here for now. Intimidated, Pheromones, Rune of Fear, 20% chance for attacks to fail and cower in fear. Only occurring once per round. Nice. That is really cool that you can't get multiple cowers. I like that. Very good play, Dom. Reduces the damage of attacks. This character's buffs are removed when the rune explodes. Counts as a fear effect. Love Me. One enemy debuff, so again, no ISO. One enemy is mind-controlled, one enemy is disoriented. Runic control counterattacks allies that attack are worthy. Ooh. Null and Spider-Woman might wind up being a really good team-up at that point. Counts as a delirium effect. Converted, deals extra damage while attacking allies. So, that means if an enemy attacks an enemy, the attack is going to be ramped up. So she's going to have, like, Phantom X is going to go with her. Dr. Morbius is going to go with her. Of course, Enchantress is going to be pretty good, too. Yeah, she's gonna be a powerhouse. So let's take a look at some of the items that are gonna be available in the chapter. And I know we're approaching the 25-minute mark here, but like I said, we got a lot to talk about. So Stark Industries PDW, look at this damage! I saw this briefly before. Ranged gun and tech. No cooldown. counterattack, preemptive attack. Look at this damage! Look at that! 7684? This is gonna get nerfed. This is a murder stick. I mean, God, if you're running Fixer and you have tech upgrade, holy shit. That's gonna be an amazing weapon. Amazing, amazing weapon. Bully. Bully! One enemy. Weaker hit, range gun, customized stealthy, lock-on stagger, jungle fever, remove stamina, causes incapacitate. So we've been shot with this. All the white gorillas, they've shot us with this before. This could be good. This could be good for incapacitate related people. So it looks like we got the hood over here. We've got dark boot. 20% chance to avoid incoming attacks by hitting an ability non-removable called Vanish. And you cause Bane, melee magic unarmed. So this could be good with your casters. This is interesting. Probably not that good on defense, but at least it gives us a kind of accessible phased. The Sinister Scepter and everything, not a lot of people just have access to it anymore, so... Here we have an epic boss. We've got the Rings of Icon. All allies buff magic, so it can become a quick action. Mirror image on all allies. All allies gain distraction and terracing boost. So wow. Sort of like Dr. Morbius on a stick a little bit, but looks like we might get blinded out of this over here. Probably what's going to happen is the challenge mode version will remove the distraction. Ring of Sidorak, Ethereal Strike, one enemy, Crimson Bands, can only use subtle or defensive abilities, can only be hit by subtle, can't protect her. So it's sort of like a force field, and it has a 3-round cooldown, debuff, and magic. It'll be interesting to see what the challenge mode version is. Maybe it'll turn it into a quick action. Over here, we have another ringy watch looking one. Ring of Icthalon. All enemies, debuff magic, ice, ethereal, stealthy, frostbound. Applies frostbound when attacked by melee. Frostbound targets shatter when attacked, damaging enemies. All enemies get death frost. So potentially good with Crystal and some others. And here we have Mr. Sinister. And we have the Gene Extractor, which looks a lot like that techie gun that we had recently, the Cybernetic set. One enemy gets a genetic sample, grants a wielder a buff determined by the class it hits. They become disabled. Ranged gun tech. Lucky shot. Ooh, look at that damage again, but this one's got a cooldown. 2 rounds. Ranged gun. Luck of the draw. Chance to cause sudden death. Oh, wow! That's what Hela was hitting us with. Reducing the target's... Oh! Good God! Pressure points and opportunity... Wow! Man, they are giving us some good gear on this one. Obviously, it's a very domino... Oh God, high evolutionary. Ugh. The body shutter right there. Wow, wow, wow. 2 awesome, awesome weapons in this chapter. The first chapter gives us a phenomenal gun, and that's going to give us a good gun. And then we have the Golden Heavy Ion Beam. 1 round cooldown, gun range, energy tech, 4 hits, golden weapon. It's a quick action, radiation exposure, and ISO corruption. So again, we are getting a lot of good stuff. Playdom, I applaud you for this chapter. I think this is beautiful stuff. I'm really excited to do this chapter. I almost wish I didn't have so much stuff to do, but the Spec Ops has only got 2 days remaining. I'm, like 20 runed metal short over there. My blade is training. This task is still only 5 out, but I already have him. And I have to defeat Kuurth over here. So let's see if we can't get into a quickie little battle with her. And just see what she looks like to round out the video. Well, no, I can't get into a fight with her because that'll end the chapter and I haven't completed the rest of these missions. So, you know what? Sorry, guys. Not it. Wow, Iron Man's gonna go against her. Huh. And it looks like the Onibugesha will... Yeah, sorry guys, won't be able to do this one. It'll make the video a little too long. Well, actually, you know what? Hold on a second. I got an idea. Okay, so we're back. I went and cleared the other battles, paused it, and let's go ahead and fight Kuurth over here. OBC. OBC. Alright, well, we don't want to run a tactician with these Ona over here. So, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the Mystic. And I'll go ahead and pick up the Cube. And I think I'll change suits. We'll go with a bruiser suit so I can get enraged. And we'll keep the destroyer in there just so he can level uppy ding ding. Bonk. I laugh at your attempted debuffs. Stupid robo-ninjas. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and start with everybody bleeding and burning. Not that Kuurth will get all of those. Well, she can bleed, that's cool. She misses on the Stonebreaker. Gonna follow up, there's my boys. Let's go ahead and try to get one of these chickies incapacitated, and a whiff. This seems like it'd be a formidable team-up, wouldn't it? Are they really going twice? Oh, because they're considered bosses. Alright, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and instead of exhausting them, let's make them bleed out for their troubles. Let's see if her immunity to the Blackest Void is in effect. Ooh, there's what. Okay, there's one of her counters. And it did affect me because it's an unremovable debuff. So it went right through the Mystic. Alright, now we're gonna start taking it. Ooh, wow, that's a peppy hit over there. She did some pretty good damage to my agent on that one. And good, they paid for it. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this Unibeam rolling here. Ah, beautiful. So it's just me and Kuurth left over here. Alright, well, there goes Love Me. But he is immune to it because he's a mystical construct. How about that? So maybe there's the counter. That might be the nice little counter over there for all the delirium happy people out there. Go ahead and pop her with the Mystic. And let's see if Iron Man can put her away. Oop, there's the counter. So there's a Road of Ruin on me, there's the biofeedback, and there's that shield breaker. Countering with a shield breaker. How's that for the meta, folks? Alright, so there's the ding on the destroyer. There should be like a metal team up there, and actually that should be a helmet team up, but I guess they're not going to consider that really a helmet on him. So defeat Kuurth. Chapter 2, available. And let's see what we get on the boss reward. Cross your fingers for that weapon, it'd be so beautiful. Oh, look at that submachine gun. Is that a MAC-10? Ooh, not even close. Scorching. Missile barrage. Iron Man. Missile barrage gains scorched. Wow, that's cool. Ooh, oh, look at the damage on that gun. It got lowered. My god, didn't that look good at that screen? The challenge mode of this must be beautiful. Ah, this is a funny, funny chapter. Use Iron Man in combat. Yes, I know. I'm supposed to use him anyway for this task. Alright, well, there you go, folks. There is the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance, the Mega Epic Content Edition. Hope you enjoyed this look at the new chapter, some PvP, some Destroyer, and the Spec Ops, we don't need to go into that. That's almost over. And yay, didn't lose any more. Neato. Hopefully I'll end up the season in the 1700 range. So, hope you enjoyed this video here on G4G, Games for Gamers. Have a great weekend, everybody.